sacked schoolteacher Enoch Burke has been sent back to prison a third time there for contempt of court orders. Mr. Burke was arrested on the grounds of Wilson's Hospital School in County Westmeath after going there in defiance of a High Court injunction. He was returned to prison by Mr. Justice Michael Quinn after Gardaí brought him to the Four Courts in Dublin. Ciara, you think there's got to be a better way than sending Enoch Burke back to prison again?
I do. First of all, I think it's a waste of a prison place, and I'm I'm all about the law and order. There are people who have served less time in Irish prisons who've committed violent crimes than Enoch Burke at this point, and I understand that the courts do not know what to do with Enoch Burke. I understand that Enoch Burke, who has more or less refused to adhere to any kind of court order and has been found to be in contempt of court, that the courts have limited means in terms of what they do. But it strikes me that a man who agree with him or disagree with him is a separate issue. Think he's right, think he's wrong, think what you like about him is a separate issue. All he has actually done is stood outside the school, and in his view, and it would be my belief, and by the way, I don't share his evangelical beliefs in any way, but it is my belief that he's there for his own religious reasons, and that he thinks that that's what he's doing. He's protesting on the basis of his religion, and that this is a religious persecutory matter. I just wonder, could we not mediate this in some different way? Because it strikes me that locking up a man who stands outside a school now for...
Well, he can purge his contempt at any time.
He can, but I'm not sure mediation would work. View, this appears to be some kind of issue of conscience, Shane. And I'm just saying that locking up him, who does nothing but stand there, strikes me as a sledgehammer to crack a nut.
I hear you, and I know the point you're making. The problem is that's not all he has done. He's refused to comply with a court order.
Yeah, yes.
Several court orders. There's conclusive evidence put before the court, which is not denied by Mr. Burke, that he has breached the terms of the injunction. He's in contempt of court. And the problem is, if somebody's continuously in contempt of court, we can't just ignore that. The state can't just ignore that, because then everybody will be in contempt of court.
I don't think that's true that everyone will be in contempt of court. Most people won't even come high nor near a court.
Lots of people will be.
Here's the thing. But yeah, most people won't behave like Enoch Burke. Enoch Burke is a particular case. He is flouting the law, and
the authority of the courts.
He has dismissed and disrespected the law, and it strikes me that the law is reacting more severely to being disrespected than they do sometimes. I don't think they're reacting people severely. Committing crimes.
I don't think they're reacting severely. I mean, they let him out during the school. Like nobody in authority.
Could he not just be ignored? Could somebody not just take it and sort of suck it up and kind of go, Enoch Burke stands outside the school? I doubt very much that...
And ignore a court order and the authority. Once the authority of the state is undermined...
Are we going to leave him locked up for the rest of his life?
I don't know.
Because there's a possibility that he won't ever change his position.
I don't have a particular solution to this, but what I do know is that any state that lacks authority, that says, actually, do you know what, we'll let this person off with thumbing their nose at the law and the authority of the courts, that's a recipe for disaster. I don't think any state, however benign, and we are a very benign state, can afford to do that.
At the end of the day, all he's doing is standing outside of school.
He's not. He's breaching a court order.
That's what he's physically doing, Shane. And he is in breach of a court order. He is in contempt of court. He's refused to purge his contempt. I know all those things. But let us know this morning. Do you know what I'm saying? Are we just going to leave this man who, for his own reasons, and you don't have to agree with them, or you can agree with them, I don't particularly care. Are we going to leave him locked up for the rest of his life because he stands outside the school? Am I out in one here this morning, as I often am?